Great. The next stretch that we're going to focus on is looking at the hamstrings. And so to do this, she's going to lay flat on her back. She's going to use some type of band. If you don't have a band, you can use a belt at home or a towel. But these resistance bands are a great way to get a little bit of extra stretch in there. And to start out with, she's just going to bring her hamstring straight back as far as she can, applying some tension to the bands, trying to relax the leg as much as she can while she's pulling that hamstring back and getting a good stretch there. To start to work on the different parts of the hamstring, the next exercise she's going to do is the same thing, but she's going to start to bring that hamstring across her body a little bit. You'll feel that on the side of the leg, really working on that IT band and the outside of the hamstring on that side. And then she'll bring the leg to her outside, where you'll start to really feel a good stretch in the groin area, that inside hamstring. And you should not feel any pain or discomfort as you're doing this stretch. You want to hold these stretches for about a count of 8 to 10, 12 seconds. The next stretch we're going to do is tailed right off of that hamstring stretch. So we're going to have Martha lay back on her back again. She's really going to focus on this hamstring. We're going to be doing something called an eccentric stretch. And so for this, she's going to be applying a lot of tension against her foot with the bands. She's going to be pushing down with the leg, really feeling a good pull in that hamstring for a count of 8 seconds. And then she's going to relax that hamstring, pull back, and she should see an increase in stretching as you do this. You want to do that just once or twice after you've already warmed up the muscle by getting a good stretch in there. And then relax that, pull back, and get a good stretch in that hamstring. Perfect. So the first stretch we're going to focus on with looking at the leg and the hips is the glutes. And the glutes are a huge issue for whether you're an athlete or whether you're someone just trying to get out of lower back pain. Stretching the glutes is one of the first most important things that you can really focus on and begin to implement into your exercise program. And so what we're going to have her start doing first is she's just going to cross one leg over the other. Perfect. And she's going to work on really focus on bringing this knee up to the opposite shoulder. Now, what you don't want to do, go ahead and put this foot down. What you don't want to do is cross this over and just twist your lower back. That's something I see really commonly, whether it's in the gym, whether I show people this exercise. That's a really common question is, should I do that? You do not want to do that. The next progression from that, or if you do have any type of lower back issues, you want to lay down on your back. Again, you're going to cross one leg over the other, and then you're going to reach in and grab the leg that's down, and you're going to bend that knee and pull it up. And as you're doing this, you should feel a really great stretch right along this whole glute area. A variation of this is you can change the position of where this leg is on this knee. So as she can bring this leg closer to her knee and pull up, and she's going to feel it at a different area on that glute. Now she can bring this leg out so it's closer to the ankle. Bring the leg up. And again, you should feel this at a completely different spot on where that glute is. So as you're stretching, you want to play around with the positioning of that foot on the leg and to begin to really get a difference of feeling where that is depending on where you're feeling your tightness at. All right, for the next stretch, we're going to be looking at the quadricep, which is the front of the thigh. And she's going to bring her left leg up. She's just going to grab her ankle. And for some of you, that may just be a good stretch, just grabbing the ankle. To take it a little bit further, she's going to pull that ankle a little bit higher up just to get a different, higher stretch in that quad area. Now, if you have any kind of knee pain, we'll be going over a different type of stretch you can do for the quad in just a minute. As you're doing this stretch, you want to be really careful if you do pull that leg up, not to be hiking the leg out. You really want to keep the hips really centered and balanced. You can hold onto a wall if you're going to be losing your balance. It's a lot more important to get a good stretch and really feel it in that quad area than to necessarily see how high up you can get that leg. The next stretch we're going to be doing is really focused on the hip flexor area. It's really common with people who have any type of hip injury, lower back injuries. Oftentimes that I see with patients is hip flexor is definitely involved in that. And so to start out with, we're going to have one leg in front of the other. You want to keep the knee. In fact, I would bring this foot out a little bit more. When she moves forward, we don't want the knee over in front of the foot. And so she's going to really keep her back straight, and she's going to work on bringing the pelvis forward. And you want to feel a stretch right at the top of this thigh, right in the hip flexor. Now, you can also raise this arm up, straight up in the air. And as you do that and you continue to lean forward, you'll feel that stretch even a little bit higher up into the psoas muscle. But the higher up you can get it and through this hip flexor, that's where you really want to feel that. Great. So again, looking at the hip flexor and psoas muscle, it's one of the most common types of injuries and issues that I see with people. Everyone from people who just sit at a desk all day up to the athletes that I take care of. The hip flexor and psoas is always a common issue or injury that we see with not only muscular imbalances, but also pelvic and spinal issues as well. And so a great at-home test that you can do to gauge the flexibility of that muscle is also the same exact type of stretch that we're going to do with it. And so what you would do is you would scoot towards the edge of the bed, just like we have here, and you're just going to bring the leg off and just let it hang. Number one, you want to get a sense of where you are starting at, and then this is also a great stretch. You can just lay on the edge of the bed, let this foot hang off, and really get a good stretch, and just let it sit there for 15, 20 seconds. And you should feel it all along the hip flexor. You'll feel it at different points along the quad.